Okay, this morning, what happened? So on Bitcoin, as everything was nuking, go to the 6 hour, 2 hour. Crypto had this scary drop. Okay, so we actually lost this low that we had set on Bitcoin at 76,000. Okay, we came back, we swept all that liquidity. We even took out all of these. Did we take out this low? Let's see. Yeah, looks like we did. Yep. We took out that low. Basically filled this whole inefficiency from this pump on Bitcoin. That is everything that you could possibly need if we're going to remain bullish and then break back higher and run this bitch back. That was everything that you needed. Everything. Because you completely filled this entire inefficiency. All right, this FVG from Bitcoin, it's completely filled. There's nothing else you need to do. You got this wick. You completely clean this bitch out, right? Because the last high was up in here. Yeah, I mean, you cleaned it out. You cleaned it. And then what you saw on Bitcoin, which was incredibly constructive, was as soon as this wick took place and you got these liquidations, the buyback on Bitcoin was huge. It immediately snapped all the way back up to 81,000. And now we're back down to 78. But you got that immediate buyback up into this range. So as long as we can close this daily candle, and this is what I'm watching for today to remain bullish or not, all we need to do is close up above a positive or an upward trend, right? To continue this upward trend along here. If it was down here, the close, then yeah, we're back in a downtrend. But because we got this buyback, if we can keep this trend upward, we're looking beautiful. Okay, and look, I'll show you the volume here again to show. Look at this volume on Bitcoin. Look, as soon as it nuked back down into here and it was coming back in, you see this huge increase in volume. Boom, straight up. The bid on Bitcoin is massive right now. And so what they do is they do this to try to catch that falling price and create these bottoms, right? It's a cascade. So you see the price nuking with low volume, right? See right here is tiny volume. Just right here. Okay. Finally, you get some sell pressure. You come back into here and you see the volume spike because it's basically trying to catch this and go and keep it from cascading and go like this. All right, bring it back up. Bring it back up. Just catch that with this upward volume, right? So I like that. We caught it before we broke down too far. What we can't see on Bitcoin is this price come back into our previous range. As soon as Bitcoin comes back into this value area, this 8-month, 9-month reaccumulation range, and essentially comes back into this 4-year range that we had created. Look at it in log mode. It's a little bit easier to see. If we come back into this 4-year reaccumulation, then we're cooked for a while. Now we're looking at a longer term bear market as opposed to a quick V-shaped recovery, because I mean, I actually should already have this drawn. Yeah, I do. Look. As soon as price, if we accept price back into this range, we're cooked. Because now you've had 4 years to reaccumulate, build this range, and we press up against it for 8 months before we finally have this breakout. If we accept back into here and we lose this level and we come back into here, we'll get this retest, and then you're going to see something like this. At least all the way back down to 32,000. That's the type of crash you're going to see on Bitcoin. You lose the top of this range, right? You're cooked. You're cooked. Because that's just the reality of trading within a range. Because once you accept back into the range, well, now you're at range highs, and you're just going to come back down and play the mid-range. Now, I don't imagine a scenario where we come back down and play the bottom of the range, but technically it's possible, depending on how much of a catastrophe these tariffs could be for financial markets and global trade. But I mean, you're trading at least down into here. Okay. If that happens, sure. If you get to buy Bitcoin down over here, again, it's generational. The problem is just the time. The time in which you're going to have to wait for this reaccumulation to take place and then break out again and eventually hit our 173,000 1.618 fib. It's going to be a couple years. Okay. Yes, generational. Yes, amazing buy, but you don't want that to happen. That's not the best case scenario. Okay. So it's do or die here. Okay. We did exactly what we needed to do, but we need to continue to do that. So look for Bitcoin. This is what I'm looking for today. We need this daily close to happen above that 76,600 low. We need to close above this to remain technically in an uptrend on Bitcoin. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. But encouraging so far. Huge, the buyback. ETH, same thing. I'm looking for a daily close above 1,500. Okay. Same thing on ETH. Look at the volume that came in here. This is constructive. This is indicative of a low being placed or a bottom being put in. You get this cascade. Okay, so your low volume right here. Sellers come in. And then buyers step in here at the last minute and catch this from breaking down too far. And then you want to see something like this, right? Again, super constructive and indicative of a bottom if it holds, okay? So now here's the worst case scenario for ETH, right? So we need to close. I'll put it back on the daily. We need to close above 1,500 today, okay? If you see ETH, and look at how it's playing our demand zone beautifully, perfectly, right? So we've had this drawn out for a while too. If you see ETH break down from this demand zone, right? So we wicked down into it right here, 1,400. We're cooked. Just let you know. If ETH closes before 1,400, below 1,400, you're going to get one last counter rally, complacency shoulder, opportunity to get out, and then you're going to see this bitch roll over and just be permanently cooked. Because at that point, the structure is so destroyed that you're not going to be breaking the new all-time highs within any reasonable time frame. Because this is your last level of defense of real volume, of real demand. Otherwise, when you come back down into here, it's just cooked. You're done. You're done. And here's why. I'll show you. But again, it's doing what it needs to do right now. Barely, but it's doing it. So let's put the volume profile. Now let's do we have it on here? No. Look, see? I mean, look, we're literally right there. Look, this is how important this level is. So this is from our Pico low, bear market low on Ethereum. This is our fixed volume profile, okay? So the most transacting on Ethereum, the most volume on Ethereum from June 2022, the Pico low, all the way till April 2025, the most volume, the most buying and selling of ETH has taken place at $1,600, okay? This is such a huge level. We need to flip this naked point of control again, okay? Let's see if I have a price label for it. Yep, 1620. We need to flip this 1620 and remain above it, and we're looking good again, okay? But we got to close above 1,500 on the day. We got to stay above this demand, stay in this demand zone to be able to have an opportunity to run it back up whenever the markets turn around. So that's our level on Ethereum, okay? There's a naked point of control. We got to get back above this. Now, if it holds, which I'm expecting it to as of right now, if it holds, okay, if it holds, anybody buying in this area where all this volume is stacked up, right? So basically in all this price region right here, and then this price region again right here, this demand zone. How have those buys aged? All these buys that happened here, here, and then are now occurring here. That's how they're going to age. So yeah, huge RR. Fantastic. Massive opportunity for returns on this.